fuck it, let's talk about the moon. You know, the moon. The moon that's just called the moon because we only have one, even though it'd be pretty baller to have 2 or 3. Well, in hindsight, though, it's probably best we only have one, because I bet people would have gone to war over which one was better. That is a possibility. And that's exactly what I want to talk about. Moon possibilities. Moon theories, if you will. It's like game theory, but with the moon. Side note, if you want a game theory, the reason why Papyrus isn't in Deltarune Chapter 1 is probably because Toby couldn't figure out what he'd be wearing or how he'd behave in general because the Royal Guard doesn't exist in this universe. I could explain further, but that's what the comment section is for. Anyway, screw your conspiracies. The moon is real and it's underutilized in ways we should all be thankful for and bitter about. Like, I'm always cracking jokes about the US, but I gotta hand it to them. They got some dudes on the moon, and it was pretty cool. But it wasn't cool enough. So rather than living in a rule of cool universe where humanity has a sick moon base, we've got a bunch of flags up there that have been sun-bleached white, giving aliens the wrong idea. I was thinking about this video I watched a while ago that mentioned how shit could have gone way wrong on the first moon landing, and the first 2 guys to ever walk the moon could have been stranded and left to die there. I just heard. I don't know if that's true or not. But if it was, well, that'd be a pretty rad way to die. If I had to choose a way for me to die, I'd go with being the first person to die on the moon. Anyway, if that had happened, people probably would have reacted 2 ways. One would be, we gotta go back and get the bodies. The other would be, fuck the moon, let's never go back. Which isn't all that different from our current timeline. And if Neil and Buzz were stuck up there on the moon, knowing that they're screwed, they'd have limited options left to ensure that either someone comes to get their bodies, or that moon landings continue to happen. Now, the moon is fucking huge, and this probably isn't possible, but in that situation, I'd try to write something in the moon dust. Something big. Something you could at least see with a telescope. Now, you might be thinking I'd write something like SOS, but nah. The best thing to write would be fuck USA, because if you could see those words on the moon from anywhere on Earth, there is no way they'd leave that be. They'd have a mission specifically for cleaning that off the moon. They'd go up there with brooms and body bags and say, "Ladies and gentlemen, today is the day we fix the moon." And that got me thinking, we got these companies that are doing space stuff and all that. What's to stop a rich-ass corporation from going up to the moon and etching the world's biggest advertisement into it? I think the only thing preventing that is the fact that whoever greenlit the idea would be killed by a mob for fucking with the moon. And I've been hearing that the moon has, like, resources we could mine, and suddenly the lack of interest in the moon is relieving because you can't ad block the moon, at least not without blowing it up. But somebody will go back to the moon someday, I'm sure of it. Somebody with something to prove. And that person may very well take a photo of themselves on the moon with our planet in the background, holding a sign that says, "Fuck the Earth." And they'd be right.